Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox coming to you today with the review for Power Season 5, Episode 5, so you guys know what time it is. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. I said, this little light of mine, I said, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. I see it shine, shine, shine. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. I had to shorten it up for y'all. I was starting to get the spirit. I was about to give y'all the second and the third verse, and then I was like, Lord, Rock said, let's wrap it up. Y'all got y'all taste of Jesus this morning? Okay, we covered. Okay, well, let's get to the review, shall we? All right, you guys, Tommy meets with Teresi and Vincent and Sammy, and Vincent was like, the story don't add up. Anything you guys want to tell me, Tommy, Sammy? Well, turns out that Tommy did not kill Dre like he had told Vincent. So Vincent was like, oh, so you lied to me, huh? Okay, to Sammy. He was like, everybody got to die now. So he gives the gun to Teresi. Teresi was like, wait a minute, why are you doing this? You know, we ain't got to do this. It's another way to handle it. And he was like, look, either you going to kill them or I'm going to kill everybody. Okay, including you. So he hands him a gun. He got Sammy and Tommy on the ground. And Teresi looks at Tommy. He looks at Sammy. He points a gun at Sam and he says, I'm sorry, and he pulls a trigger and there's no bullets in there. Okay, so it was just sort of a test to see if Teresi was going to stay loyal to the family, which he does. And Vincent walks out. Goes and gets the boy from school. It's him and Raina's birthday. Tariq says he didn't even really need to come, but Ghost was like, no, it'll be good for your mom. She'll be happy to see you. And hey, by the way, I know your mom told you her version of us growing up in Queens, but you know, that's her version and my version is different. He'll tell him about it, you know, one day. I'm thinking to myself, like, Ghost, why are you still trying to fake the funk? This boy is so wrapped up in all of you guys' mess. Don't you think that he deserves the truth at least? So stupid. I'm sitting there like, if I was Tariq, I would be insulted. You must really think I'm stupid. Who would have ever thought I would have been on Tariq's side? But that whole time that Tariq was sitting next to him, I was just like, nigga, please. Now, Tasha and Silva, they talking. He's still trying to tell her to come by that night. And she was like, no, you know, I can't. It's Tariq's birthday tonight. My mom is coming over. We all getting together and gonna have dinner. And he was just like, well, I just need you to get away from James's influence. He is so annoying. You give a nigga a piece of ass one time and they think they know your whole fucking life. Shut up, Silva. We see there at a restaurant and I guess the maitre d' comes up and tells Tasha, oh, Miss St. Patrick, just like usual, 2 cakes for the twins, their birthday. And, you know, she's just like, no, it'll just be one. Back at the federal prosecution, you know, Angela's telling Tamika how overly dedicated and First Chair had reactivated that tracker under Tommy's car and she feels like they're doing something behind her back. Tamika was like, I know about everything, just let me handle it. Okay, now they go into the meeting and Tamika is telling them, you know what, the Jimenez case, we're gonna have to just move on. You know, Angela doesn't want to let it go. She's got all these plans of what they can do next, and Tamika was like, listen, we can't go against Tampion. Okay, he has a backing of the DOJ, much higher ups than anybody in this office. Okay, I'm telling you, we got to let this shit go. So she shoots that out of Angela's hand. Okay, later on she's talking to Overly Dedicated and First Chair and she tells them that Angie is on to them. She found out about the tracker and First Chair is like, damn, she's gonna blow our whole case. Tamika was like, well, you better come up with something soon or else the case is done. Okay, we're gonna get you something. So they get up and leave and then Donovan is still behind and Donovan is like, I gotta tell you something. Angela did shut down. The NYPD was investigating this dirty cop and Angela shut him down, had me go and get all the files. So it seems that Angela has been busy behind Tamika's back. So Tamika goes and talks to Angela. And she tells him, look, I knew that they were investigating Tommy. We didn't say anything to you because I was just letting them handle it for now. Angela was like, you did that behind my back. And that undermines my authority. And she was just like, well, since we talking about behind each other's back, what's this about this investigation into the NYPD dirty cop and you going and shutting it down? She didn't want to tell Tamika anything until she got all of her information. And Tamika was like, oh, is that all it is? She's like, that's all it is. So you just checking into that dirty cop and it has nothing else to do with anything, right? Angela says, right, that's it. Okay, but you know, Tamika got her good eye on Angela. Now, Teresa's in the car with Sammy, and he's trying to convince him that he really wasn't going to kill him. He felt the gun. It was light. He could tell there were no bullets in there. I was like, bullshit. Teresi tells Sammy how the prosecution is trying to get that moolie. Okay, talking about James, Ghost. Teresi is hoping that Tommy is going to tell him some information about him. And Sammy was like, you think he's going to cry? Teresi was like, he better, okay, considering I'm out here damn near killing my best friend and whatnots. While Teresi's talking to Sammy, we also see Tommy telling Ghost and Kanan what happened. Okay, the whole deal about the gun and him pulling the trigger, and so he's out with the Italians right now, and everything is a mess. You know what, Dre, today he dies. And Ghost was like, nope, he can't die now, because now I'm wrapped up with him with this Queen's project, and if we kill him, everybody's gonna know. They gonna know it was us three. We all going down. Well, Tommy says he got to do something, because he got to prove to Teresi, you know, that he's there for him the same way that Teresi was there for him, because, you know, Teresi didn't shoot him. You know, that's his dad. He's his son. You know, he was willing to kill his best friend over his son, and yada yada yada. You know what, Ghost is just like, I don't want to hear it. Gives him his money that he cleaned through the club. Here you go. Okay, when you around your damn daddy, act like you don't know me. Ghost leaves, and Kanan is there to talk to Tommy, and Kanan was like, you know what, I heard there's a beef going on with Dre and Cristobal. Let's amp up that beef between the two of them. I hear that Cristobal is the Jimenez people's favorite. And Tommy is just like, you know, he shoots it down for now. Now, James and Simon are meeting with the Councilman Tate and Andre. Basically, Councilman Tate is letting them know that James is out and Andre is in. Simon was like, no, I put James in there, you know, with my sizable donation. And Councilman Tate was like, I think you misunderstanding me. Okay, I'm the one that can make the final decision on this. And like I said, James is out, Dre is in. Simon was like, fine, okay, just backs off. And when Councilman Tate and Andre leaves, you know, Ghost was like, you just gonna roll over and let them, you know, take over like this? And Simon was like, as long as I've known you, you've always been able to wriggle out from any adversities. Okay, how about you wriggle out from under this one as well? So next we see James at Dre's office. You know, James is very smart. He is a astute businessman, even though he's a drug dealer. Will seems that James has gone over the contract, and now he's meeting with Karen Bass's people at Dre's office. Okay, Dre comes in and he's like, what is he doing here? Why is he in my office? Karen Bass's people tells him, like, you didn't tell us that there's a non-compete clause in the contract. The only way that we can really work around this is if James decides to ignore that clause. And you know, James was like, I definitely ain't doing that. Okay, with this smug look on his face. So Karen Bass's girl was just like, so we don't have any choice but to terminate our business dealings with you, and also that fundraiser that was supposed to be happening tonight, we're canceling. And James was like, and I picked up the fundraiser, so you don't have to worry about it. Plus, we still working on the Queen's project together, so it's all good. And then he gets up and he walks. That damn Dre looked like he want to throw up. Okay, I was like, you is molded, Dre. Of course, James come back in and says, tell Karen Bass I said hello. Okay, and walks out. I was like, finally, James gets some kind of small win. We see Kanan. He's walking out of a store. Crackhead comes up to him and is pestering him like crackheads can do, trying to get money from him, trying to sell him things and all of this. And side note, did you guys know that crackhead was K-Dot? Y'all, Kendrick Lamar, he did a great job. I was like, y'all know it's West Coast all the time. I was looking at him and I was like, damn, they got him so cracked out, he almost looked like Cat Williams. But anyway, he did really good for his acting debut. Don't you guys think? This was his debut, sort of. Like, have we seen him in anything else acting? I don't remember. But anyway, he plays an excellent crackhead. I'm sure he's had his share of them in Los Angeles. Anyway, Kanan realizes that he can use this guy for some of his dirty dealings on the streets. He actually uses him as a decoy. The crackhead was trying to sell him this little girl's bike, and Kanan takes him up on his offer. Next thing we see the crackhead over there trying to distract this Tainos that's on the street, you know, about to get in his car. He's trying to talk to him, and while he's distracting him, you know, Kanan pulls up on the damn little girl's bike, ringing the bell, ding, ding, drives by on the bike and shoots the Tainos, okay, right there with the crackhead. Ooh, that Kanan know he will use a nigga on the street in a minute, huh? I said, I hope this don't come back to bite him. Now we see James and Angela. Okay, we about to see them together more and more. You guys get ready. Okay, James is in the store. He's about to buy some tennis shoes for Tyreek for his birthday, and he has Angela down there. You know, she was like, I thought it was just a one-time thing that we met. Oh, I thought you could just help me pick out some tennis shoes for Tyreek. She asked him if he's still working with Dre, and he was just like, look, I done already told you. Okay, I ain't in that no more. I don't do that anymore. We working together on that Queens thing, but that's it. She was like, well, okay, that's all fine and good, Jamie, but I can't get sucked back in with you. Okay, and he was like, I just, wanted you to come help me. It's the kid's birthday. And that's when she was just like, oh my God, like I didn't know. Then she gets saved by the bill. It's a phone call from Tamika, and she was like, it's my job. I gotta go. And he was like, fine, just go. Okay, she's all, thank you for understanding, and she dips. When she leaves, she calls Proctor, and she asks Proctor, do you want to get your law license back? And of course, Proctor wants to, and so she was like, okay, I need your help on something. Now we see overly dedicated committee member and first chair John. They meeting with Teresi, and Teresi tells them about the beef between Ghost and Tommy and Andre, and they were like, okay, well, we need more than that. That ain't enough. It needs to be something directly on Ghost, and we need it ASAP. And Teresi was like, don't worry about it. I'm still working on it. Okay, I'm gonna have something for you. I'll deliver it up on a nice piece of china. Okay, looks at first chair John. Overly dedicated was like, he's Japanese. Now, what did Angie need Proctor to do? Well, she wanted him to set up this meeting with Tommy. So they're meeting in the middle of an alley somewhere. Tommy was like, what the fuck, is this a setup? Angela comes up to him and tells him that she believes that he's a distributor for the Jimenez cartel. And she got pictures of him everywhere, even at the hangar the other day. I said, I knew that was gonna come back. Why would his ass go there in the first place, all out in the open? She tells him that she's gonna bring him and Jamie down if he don't play ball. And he was just like, oh, you so worried about your boyfriend. Oh, your ex-boyfriend, excuse me. Look, I don't work with his ass no more. So she was just like, well, that might be true. However, you still are working with the Jimenez family, and I know it. Okay, you better listen to me, Tommy. The DOJ is coming after you, and it ain't gonna be pretty. Tommy was like, bullshit, okay, because if you had anything on me of any quality or substance, you would already arrested me. So that's when she walks over and takes a tracker off the underneath this car, and he was like, what the fuck is this? And Proctor was like, that's illegal. And she was like, I don't care about illegal. I can give you immunity. You can walk away clean, Tommy. You better listen to me. Think about it and let me know. So when she leaves, Proctor was like, you better think about that, okay? You can get blanket immunity and you can walk away without going to jail. Okay, what if they find out about Markham? And Tommy was just like, don't worry about that. As long as you keep your mouth shut, they won't. Now, this fundraiser that Jamie is taking over, he's working a room, and then he spots that Councilman Tate and Andre is there in his club. In truth, how dare they? He goes over there and he was like, I need you to fucking leave. Councilman Tate was like, no, Andre told me what was going on, and you know what, Andre can still be of use. There's plenty of people here, tastemakers, and people that still might need an employer. Look, Andre, I see somebody over there that might need your help. Okay, let me go and introduce you to him. So, Ghost is pissed that they are in his club. They trying to still take over his shit. Ghost don't like that. He gets a text message from Tasha like, hey, did you pick up the cake? Are you coming to dinner? We all here waiting. Well, James doesn't go. We see them at the dinner, and this shit is all dark, and I was like, can they turn on some fucking lights, play some music? The boy ain't got no kid friends that he could have there. Who the fuck would have a dinner with these old depressing ass old people? Everybody stressed out. I was just like, cut a light on somewhere around here. It was so dark in there, Kanan is texting Tariq, what's up, sending them bitmojis and everything. Like, nobody is interested, okay? Tommy is there, Keisha's there, and Tasha's mama is there. I mean, what fucking kind of party is this? But Tommy, being Tariq's godfather, he's always gonna be there for him. He even lets him take a drive in his Mustang, okay? Does your dad let you drive? And he was like, nah, he don't let me drive. I don't have a license. Tariq is flying down the street, and then they pull over, and Tommy was like, turn it off, give me the key. So he gives him the key, and then Tommy get that sinister look on his face, and he was like, you was the one who told Dre that we was coming, huh? At the funeral, at Raina's funeral, you heard me tell your dad and you told him. And Tariq was like, well, if you guys would tell me what's going on. He was like, look, nobody need to fucking tell you anything. But since you must know, Dre took over my entire business. Dre tried to kill Kanan. He killed my friend who was a priest. And he sent you into a shootout with a dirty cop. Okay, and that cop killed your sister. That is why we got a problem with Dre. You didn't know that, but you knew he was our enemy. Why did you do it? Tariq says, well, he did it because he was being loyal to him because he told Tariq where Ray was. And Tommy says, loyal to your own cause. Okay, sound just like your damn daddy. And Tariq says, well, I know I did the right thing. And he says, Tariq, you don't know nothing. I tell you, Tommy gets on our nerves sometimes, but I love these moments when he is 100% right. Told that stupid ass boy something. Now back at the penthouse, Terry shows up, saves the day. He goes and picks up the cake that Ghost didn't go pick up. Mama's like, Tasha, you got your nerve having your new ass come to this penthouse. Your kids are here. Did you remember that? You know, she's like, Mama, this is my friend Terry Silva. Right after he shows up, the detective also shows up that's working on Raina's case. And he's like, you know, good news. We closing in on Raina's murderer. But look, I need to get your gun, your registered gun, so we can check it against the ballistics that we have and, you know, clear it. And she was like, oh, I reported that gun stolen, you know, a long time ago. And so he has his assistant cop that's there with him, you know, to check it up. And Silva comes and says, oh, so you got a warrant for, you know, just some standard procedure? Why it got to be all of that? You know, the detective was like, oh, Lord, you know, who are you? He says, I'm her lawyer. Detective says, okay, well, we didn't need to bring lawyers all into this. And then his assistant cop says, okay, her story checks out. And, you know, so he's like, okay, you know, I don't want no problems, so you fine. Sorry for interrupting y'all night. Goodbye. So after the police leaves, Terry and Tasha are in the other room, and he was just like, you know, you lying to protect James. You know, I saw you put that gun in the safe. She was like, I'm not lying to protect him. You know, I'm the one that shot Ray. He was like, you're not, you know, and he's just, he is so annoying. The whole time that she's talking to him in the room, Tariq done already made it back home, and he's listening from the dark hallways. If the motherfuckers would turn some damn lights on around there, maybe they would know who was listening around the corner. Shit. Anyways, he tells her that they are suspicious of James, okay, and they coming after him. They gonna come after you, and they gonna take everybody damn down, okay? Either you a victim or an accomplice, okay? Let me know. Call me when you figure out which one. And he leaves. So Tasha goes back out to the party, and, you know, they all sitting around the table. They about to have this cake, and when they open up the cake for Tariq, it says, happy birthday, Raina. Okay, the absolute worst thing that could happen. Okay, her mama, you ordered the wrong cake. She was like, I know. Like, who the fuck? There's always somebody around that just says some shit that's just gonna make it even worse than everybody at the table. I know, mother. Thank you. So, you know, Tasha rushes out the room. Well, this birthday party is ruined. So Tariq goes after her, and, you know, she's in the room and she's crying. And Tariq tells her, you know what, just let me confess. Okay, I'm the one that did it. I can't let you go to jail for something that I did. And she's telling him, don't worry about it. I already handled it. If you want to help me out, okay, then get the fuck out of my way. When she's walking out the room, he stops her and says, Mom, do you wish that it was me who got killed instead of Raina? And she doesn't answer. She just walks out. I was like, well, damn, Tasha, could you at least, even if you felt that way, could you at least have lied and said, no, you want to lose another child? When she rushes out, he sees a bottle of pills on her makeup stand, and he picks it up. I said, Lord, is he thinking about killing himself now? Now we see Kanan again. He working with his crackhead K-Dot again, okay? Getting another Taínos. He's trying to distract this one guy, and of course Kanan comes out the door and blasts a flat jammy and blows his brains out all over crackhead K-Dot's face. Doesn't even faze crackhead K-Dot. When it's over, you know, Kanan and crackhead K-Dot is standing around talking, and I was like, oh Lord, Kanan is about to kill him. Kanan pulls the gun out and has it pointed at him, but instead of killing him, you know what, he takes the bullets out. He has a moment of sympathy, I guess, and he actually gives the gun to crackhead K-Dot and is like, here, you go on and sell this. Okay, you can make you a whole bunch of money, score you a whole bunch of crack. And that's when crackhead K-Dot was like, oh, you don't really have any friends, huh? You have a hard time maintaining friendships, close relationships, you know? He basically reads Kanan right then and there. All right, and Kanan is feeling some type of way like, oh my God, am I this easily read? Okay, maybe I do need to kill him. And then it turns out that crackhead K-Dot is reciting the commercial for some sort of medication. But I don't think he really was. I think he actually meant what he said, but you know, he has to keep up this crazy facade to keep from getting killed by Kanan. It was a really funny scene. He plays a crackhead really well. Maybe we'll see him again on the show. Now back to James at the fundraiser. He fucked up. Okay, just as drunk can be. He watching Councilman Tate and Andre take over all this shit, and that's just making him even madder. When Councilman Tate walks up to James, and is telling him now, he should be happy that this is still going on, he was like, Dre don't deserve no fucking credit. Councilman Tate asked him, why is he so angry? This is still what you wanted, right? You was trying to make sure that the community, project went ahead. And it will. Okay, you getting everything that you wanted except for the spotlight. James says that damn Andre deserves no fucking credit. That's my shit. Councilman Tate, James, you are losing it. You are losing everything that you ever had and you are unworthy of it all. Okay, all up in James's face. And I was like, oh. That damn James honey had him all hemmed up, slammed him on the damn bar, and he was like, look, you don't know who the fuck I am. I kill you right now. Okay, now remember we at the fundraiser. Simon over there talking to the people was like, James! And that's when James finally stops and looks around. He sees everybody looking at him. He was just like, So then James leaves. I said, oh, Lord, James is losing it. James gets home from the fundraiser, and he is fucked up. Of course, it's dark and, shadows and shit. We see Tariq sitting over there. He sees James come in, stumble in the chair, and Tariq was like, you're drunk. Okay, we finally get this confrontation. I guess we was waiting on between James and Tariq. The only thing is we was hoping that James wasn't going to be drunk. We was also hoping that Ghost was not going to be done got on our nerves so bad that, Ghost was going to put Tariq in his place. But see, we so pissed off at Ghost at this point that the shit that Tariq was saying and doing to Ghost, okay, we was really happy about it. Even though Tariq do need his ass whooped. So, James is starting up with the whole, lies about his past. And Tariq says he knows that he's a drug dealer. He was always a drug dealer, always going to be a drug dealer. He hits him where it hurts and says, Raina knew you was a drug dealer too, and she didn't care because you bought her nice things, okay? But otherwise, she probably wouldn't like your ass either. That James is trying to get to Tariq. He's a stumbling ass mess. Can't get to him. He mad as hell. And Tasha comes out and, sends Tariq away. Go to your room, and tells James, well, you need to leave. And he was like, well, I'm not leaving. This is my house. And she was like, no, you leave and you come back when we leave. Okay. And, drunk James, what else can he do? His ass gets on the damn elevator. Well, I guess he leaving. We see Dre. He trying to get back in with Karen Bass and her people, leaving them a message. When he's on the phone, Cristobal comes in, and Cristobal tells him that somebody is out there taking out his people, his Tainos. Dre says it's probably Ghost and Tommy. And he says, no, I think that is 2-Bit. 2-Bit was mad that I was put as a number 2 person. So now he's taking out my people. And Dre was like, oh, so what you're really saying is, since 2-Bit works under me, that I'm the one that told him to kill your people because you the number 2 man? Cristobal was like, I didn't say that. That's not what I'm saying. And Andre was like, well, let me tell you something. I don't fucking like having a number 2 person. You right. But if I do something to you, then my bosses are going to be mad at me. Okay. And now how does that serve me? So no, my people ain't killing your people. I need you to figure that out. Handle that shit yourself, or else I will. We see Tommy talking to Teresi. He's still trying to get back in good with the Italians. Teresi tells him, what, forget about them, okay? 25 years I was loyal to their asses, and now I see that they probably wouldn't even piss on me if I was on fire. Teresi acting like he should have just told on them, and Tommy was like, you would have ratted on them? And he was like, man, ratting is only ratting when you ratting on somebody that was loyal to you. But, this don't make sense in Tommy's street smart head, okay? So he's kind of listening to his dad and sort of like, Now, Andre got all kind of problems, child. Diego comes there and was like, why the fuck weren't you at the club? Dre was like, I got held up, but I thought you guys was, in jail. He was like, yeah, you thought that, right? Because you planted that damn gold gun and tried to make sure that they took me down. And he had the damn gun up to Andre's head. And, Andre was like, no, I didn't do that. I don't know nothing about no damn gun. And listen, I need you to think. Why would I do that? He tells him how he thinks that Ghost and Tommy are killing Cristobal's people out there. They probably are the ones that got you arrested too. Diego's like, yeah, you know what, you're right. I remember them. Now Diego's like, well, then we got to go and fuck them up then. But this is between you and me. Do not tell Alicia nothing. I said, ooh, now that ain't the... That Dre is between a rock and a hard place, ain't he? I said, oh, Dre, I know you better think long and hard about who you stay loyal to in this situation. Now we see Angie. She's at home and she sends a text to Jamie, sorry about today. I didn't realize that it was the kid's birthday. And then she gets a knock at the door. All right. She looks through the peephole and then she's like, just a minute. Okay, goes and gets her gun. And I was like, who is that, Angie? Well, it's Tommy. She was like, how do you know where I live? And he was like, don't worry about that. I figured that because we in this mess, I can help you and you can help me help you. She was thinking that he was there to rat on the Jimenez people. And he was like, no, that's never been me, never will be me. He's there to get the tracker. So she does. Okay. And she was just like, I don't know why you playing this game. Okay. When I arrest the Jimenez people, what makes you think that I won't arrest you too, Tommy? And he says that same fear that made you get that gun when I knocked at your door. And at the same time, we see that Teresi goes and rats out Tommy and says that Tommy is washing his money at Ghost Club. Okay, truth. Overly dedicated, and first chair John is happy. This is a win. We see Tariq, he in the car with Kanan, over there brooding and pouting like he always is. And, Kanan's kind of feeling bad, like, I would have said happy birthday, but, it's kind of fucked up. Your sister ain't around. So Kanan still does have some little feelings for Tariq. Something tells me that Kanan is going to be the reason of Tariq probably coming back around to his stupid ass daddy. And lastly, we see James. He done hit rock bottom, you guys. You know what his rock bottom is. He finally takes it on to church. Okay, goes and meets up with the reverend that's been trying to help him and Tasha. He tells the reverend that his daughter is dead and it is God's fault and somebody has to pay. And so, reverend tells him, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord, gives him that verse. And then he asks him, well, who else do you blame? Well, he blames his son for getting wrapped up in the shit to begin with. He blames Tasha for not being able to see what was going on with the kids. Okay, well, where were you, James? Well, I was in jail. Okay, so I couldn't do nothing. Okay, well, why were you in jail? Because I was trying to protect somebody. Well, you were trying to protect somebody or you were trying to protect yourself. Okay, basically, the reverend is trying to get him to see that everything that you say has nothing to do with you. Never at fault. It's always somebody else's fault. The reverend says, well, James, what would you do differently? What would Raina want you to do? James says, Raina will want me to be a different man. And he's going to do that for her. And Reverend says, no. You don't need to do nothing for nobody else no more. You need to do it for yourself. You need to be the person that wants to be a different person. And James says, yeah, well, I do want to be a better man. And you know what that means, him being a better man? Him showing up at Angie's house. You knock on the door, she open the door and let him in, and they just look at each other, and honey, then she shut the door in our face. I said, oh, okay. They about to piss y'all off this season. Alright, you guys, so that's it. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is for itsrox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. Alright. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.